Good enough, bro. Good enough.
Alright.
Good enough. Great enough. 25 Slaves of Christmas?
25 Slaves of Christmas.
Five?
Slave 5.
Slave 5. Black Christmas.
Black Christmas 2019.
Yes.
AKA Blumhouse's Black Christmas.
Yeah, you really got to know that
Another
because I
Blumhouse.
believe there's 3 Black Christmases in total.
So what is that this week? We did
Puka?
Jesus Christ. Puka and
Once Upon a Time in Christmas.
was Once Upon. No, that one wasn't Blumhouse.
Oh,
I was just counting the Blumhouse. You were counting off all of them.
Oh, I thought you were just going on.
No, fuck it. Go watch the other videos. No, Puka I think was the only other one.
Yeah.
Of the
It
6,
was-
I think we watched 2 because we watched the 2 Orions.
Yeah.
We watched Anna and the Apocalypse and Child's Play, 2 Orion movies, and then this is just film nerd shit I'm throwing at you. This is all this is.
I don't know any of the shit. Well, I mean, I
one
watched
one
the-
Lionsgate, and then we got 2 Blumhouse.
I mean, okay, so Black Christmas, like, there's 3 of them. So there's one that came out in like 2009 or 11.
No,
or something.
okay. So the very first one was like
1970.
I want to say 1974.
Yeah.
We'll fact check it later. 2006 was the next one, which is the one that you've seen.
Yeah, I love so. Back in the
And
day.
I actually, you put that on the initial list that you texted to me, and I'd like to watch that one. I've always wanted to see that one.
Yeah.
And I watched the trailer for it, and because it had a lot of actresses that I was like, oh shit, like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like I
Yeah.
love that chick.
Yeah.
Like I think she's a dope actress. As usual, spoiler warnings for this. Blumhouse's Black Christmas. I was actually very excited to see this movie. I wanted to see it in theaters. I heard beforehand that the feminist angle that it takes is pretty heavy-handed. Like it wasn't very subtle about it, and I gotta say that was probably my biggest complaint of the movie. Like it definitely was very heavy-handed, only in the sense that like I liked what they were setting up with it. I just didn't feel like it stuck the landing. For me, to sum up how I'm feeling about this movie before getting real into it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, I didn't.
There were just certain things that didn't land for me, but I will say, and we'll get back to it at the end, I did enjoy something in particular about the ending.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to that.
I mean, like I don't know. I watched it. I mean, yeah.
All 3 of them are about.
It's not subtle at all, but it's pretty dope. I, mean,
I did like the angle they
I didn't
took.
mind it. It's not like I felt uncomfortable or some shit like that. Like it was just like, to me, it was pretty. The movie itself was pretty dope.
For a modern take on this one, because this is the 3rd one that they've done, and this was the 2019 version. If I haven't said that 15 times already.
2019, last year.
All of them are about this killer stalking a sorority house. So I really liked this modern angle that they took, where they tackled rape culture with it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like right out the gate, they're not subtle about like who the killer's going to be. There's no mystery to this movie. Like there's no like, ooh, who's doing this? Who's behind the mask? You're like, I know who's behind the mask. I know exactly who's doing it because they're like, this is who's doing it. But I think honestly, that was kind of the point. It's like these girls are trying to tell you this is who's doing it, and nobody's listening. You know what I mean?
I think so too. I did feel that. I thought.
Which now that I'm kind of talking about it out loud, that hits pretty hard. That's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope, man. I got that take from it too. It was like, because they that's the thing that repeats throughout that movie, and it's like, I tried to talk to the cops about that, and then nobody would listen to me, or they said I was lying and all this stuff. So it's basically like by the end of the movie, all these women are like, fuck this shit. We'll
It was
take
inspired
it
by a lot of real life cases, like the Brock Turner thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's like, it was. Like I said, I guess I didn't see per se it being what it was from the beginning. I thought it was more so like a single killer than being a whole group of killers.
I just caught on to it real quick.
And then I was
like, it's gonna be all of them.
Well, and then I was kind of confused whenever I forget, it would have been like the 3rd or 4th one of the dudes these 2 chicks kill, and there was like the blood's different. It's not real blood or something. So then I was starting to be like, are these motherfuckers robots or some shit? Because I was like,
as soon as they, because for me,
they had red glowy eyes, so I was like,
I figured it all out the moment they went to the Christmas like festival thing,
and she
at the frat house, and she peeked in the room where they were doing the initiation, and they're all wearing robes. I'm like, it's all of them. It's just the cult, It's the whole fucking, it's the whole frat house. The one thing I didn't see coming was like the possessed like pledges and stuff. I thought that was cool. A take on like the hazing rituals and stuff like that.
thought the purpose was dumb though.
The main actress, the lead actress in this, Imogen Poots is her name. I love that actress. I really like her in a lot of stuff. She's in Green Room, which is an excellent movie.
She was fine.
And she was really, really good in this movie.
Like I said, I felt the cult's purpose was kind of fucking stupid.
To get rid of all women, and it's just like...
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, that's not
but,
at all.
But,
like, if I would have sat there and been like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was the whole point. And, well, actually, and I read something as well that said that ooze that comes out of them is supposed to be like a thing for like literal like toxic masculinity. You know what I mean?
Well, I get
so
that.
Like,
I get that.
So that's interesting.
I'm sure there's.
Cool.
I'm sure there's some fuckers that would sit there and watch that movie and be like, I think those guys had a point, and fuck them. But the movie itself, like, I just, you know, I was like, when it got to that point, I didn't see the little, like her little sister in the movie being like a part of it by the end.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking literal little sister.
Sorority little sister. Sorority sister.
Yes,
yes. I did not see that.
Actually, I did think that was a cool little like aside. I think that was
pretty dope, and it was like, wait,
for those women that just like fall in line and like, you know, do kind of, it's just like, the fuck, like, you know,
yeah,
that shit ain't cool. Like,
just kind of just do what you're supposed to do that they taught us growing up and shit like that, and keep your mouth shut. That's what kind of she became. And then, you know, that killer came up in there and snapped her little neck.
I know, let's just say, and it killed her anyways, which is just like, oh my god.
What's the point? I was like, what's the point of keeping her alive that long? You're just gonna kill her.
They're just, you know, they're using her.
Sick.
What they did. But Imogen Poots was she was great in this movie. A total badass. She was a great lead, you know, it's expected. I liked the dynamic with like the little four. I wish, that's another kind of like weak point for me. I wish it was a little more developed with their relationship, like, because the movie's kind of short. Like, it's only like an hour and 30 minutes or something like that.
It kind of jumps into him being in the house, offing them one by one.
And it goes pretty quickly,
like,
so there's not enough time to, because there's a moment where the one girl, there's 4 of them left, but number 4 has already gone up in the attic, which was a cool death scene. There's a couple ones I like. Oh, the opening I really liked with the snow angel.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
My regards to the director
that
and
was done
cinematographer,
really
because
well.
that one was like, I really liked that one a lot. And there were a lot of really good shots in this. The girl looking for her cat, and the shot that was just still and kind of just like pulling out like on the like.
Oh yeah,
and she keeps moving, and then the dude comes out with the lights,
and
just gets her. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah, that was a pretty good
beautiful.
One too.
There were a lot of really beautiful shots in this.
I didn't want that girl to die at the moment, though. I thought she might.
I know, there's so many chicks in this. I was like, god damn it.
Her character was like interesting, and you just barely seen her, so I was
which is weird, like, because I felt like I was more engaged with those like characters that I didn't know a lot about, like at the beginning, rather than those like last 4. Like, I didn't feel that with those last 4 like I did those first few.
Yeah, no, and it's different. Like, I don't know. The movie played, like, for me when I was watching the movie, because like I said, I'm one of those that I like to guess movies when I'm watching them, try to guess the endings in my head at least. And like, there's so many different ones because they had like that quick cut of the second sorority for the first time that was good.
Yes,
the same problem. Yeah. But it's like,
which they showed at the beginning, and it made it seem like it was happening, like that was something that happened in the past. But then you find out it's happening at the exact same time.
And it's like,
I thought that was interesting.
But it was like they was sitting there stabbing all the dudes, and the cop came in, and he's like, freeze. And then that's like, so in my head at that moment, I was like, so what are these guys trying to set them up? Like maybe these guys came in there with fake weapons to try to kill them, but now the cops coming in there and they're using real weapons and killed all them. So now all these girls are going to go to jail. But then it was like, you know, obviously not that at all. But I was like, hey, that'd be cool. But no, I was wrong.
Pops the security guard. I was like, damn. And when I found out that was happening at the same time, so then I guess that ties into also what I really liked about the ending. And what this is really, really what I wanted. And for a minute there, I didn't think it was going to happen. And I was like, wait. Like, we just did all this. Like, we just did this whole, like, you know, like, feminine power movie. And you're going to tell me that there's not going to be this moment? Like, because it's like you're off on all the sisters. And I'm like, there's not going to be that scene of, like, fucking sisterhood, like, girl power, like, triumphing over this shit. And it really felt like that. Like, I felt like Imogen Poots' character was going to, like, get out of this alive. Somehow, some way. She was going to, like, you know, save the day. But I didn't think we were going to see that scene, a big scene, and it really actually kind of threw me off guard when it happened. It was another one that was like, yes, like I was really happy because I thought it
at
was.
The end there.
I thought it was somebody else. Maybe I thought it was just the one chick, or like I don't know, or no, I thought it was Landon or some shit. I don't know. I thought it was somebody who it was not, because it was all the girls. It was all the sorority sisters, and she's just like, you don't fuck with us, and there's this dope, fight, and you're like, there it was, and it's like I was very happy that there was that like finale moment,
right?
And they got theirs.
No, I did too. I thought it was a dope movie. Like, and that's one of, like I said, I didn't hear about it. I didn't know anything about that shit either going into it, and I was like, oh damn. Yeah.
Talking about it more right now is actually making me really. It's one of those movies that, and this happens a lot, that like when I reflect upon it a little more after a little more time and digest it a little more, I really come to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of them. I enjoyed it as I was watching it, but now that we sat here and discussed it a little more, I really sort of find mine. It's kind of, it's growing. Something that I learned since watching it that made me enjoy it a lot more. I'm a huge fan of VHS. And the guys behind VHS, Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett. And I found out that the director of this movie was an actress in VHS. And I recognize her. She's... if you've seen VHS, I'm assuming you haven't seen VHS.
I don't know.
Oh shit! Well then, fuck it. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Maybe.
For those of you at home, if you've seen VHS, she's the actress in the vignette with the couple with Joe Swanberg, I believe, and a little more film nerd knowledge for you.
A little more. So this movie, I give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, solid,
I think it was like, because as far as horror movies go around Christmas time and all that stuff, like. As far as movies go, I'd like to say the Christmas period, because they usually come out in like January-ish, and that's usually a low period and stuff like that. I think if anybody went and saw this one in theaters or some shit, they'd be like pleasantly surprised like I was. Especially that, like you were saying, like going into it, and you were like, well, I'd heard the feminist things like, not subtle in it or whatever. I don't know how to ever say that fucking word, but subtle. There you go. I didn't give a fuck, man. Like I said, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was dope as fuck. I was like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I wouldn't go on the internet and complain about that at all. I'd just be like, yo, this movie was pretty dope. It was enjoyable. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I would like to. That's one I'd like to add to my collection. I'd like to watch it properly. I watched it on like a smaller screen. You know me. I like to watch things on a big screen. Really get the theater experience as much as I can. Enjoy, what the artist made on that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like it was a very beautiful, like, movie.
Yeah.
Like as far as the cinematography went, I'd like to see it.
Oh yeah.
A little more proper.
I wish I had seen it in theaters. Yeah.
So sure. I also wish I caught it in theaters. I really dug it. I'm gonna say, I'll say 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 is fair.
8 out of 10.
Good movie.
You can. If you got HBO Max, it's on HBO Max.
I'd say HBO. HBO. Yeah. I wish it was like the AT&T commercials where they're like AT&T.
I think about that every time I say HBO Max. Yeah. Thanks, AT&T.
Yeah.
Cuts away to that commercial.
Yeah, I'd say, and not like we're trying to put an ad on the end of that, but if there is, there you go.
Some Child's Play AI shit going on.
Yeah, maybe Alexa's listening. All right, fam.
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas. It's dope.